Welcome to the VARCA Speedway, where Charlie Atherton has sat on the pole position for today's race. His championship rival, though, Andre Garcia-Gary, meanwhile, is buried outside the top 20. As we are in the penultimate race, but Michael Albright and Tyler Barnett can also win the championship. They are starting right behind the 73 of Charlie Atherton in the rows behind. You also have Shaun White, the Daytona and Monza winners, the outside of Charlie Atherton, and then you have Gavin Gorski with, I believe, his best qualifying effort of 2023 back there in row 3. And we're going to go down trackside and await the command of fire engines. Engines are fired up, fans are fired up, we are fired up here in the booth. I hope all of you watching at home are fired up too. Charlie Atherton, Shaun White, the front row. Atherton's going to start this race in the points lead. He wants to end this race in the points lead. Here we come, green flags in the air, we are racing in flat rock. They're getting an even jump off in the one. Even jump off in the one, and look at Danny California trying to make it happen free wide almost. Obviously, the fans just want to see a clean race. They don't want to see the typical wreckfest that you always see out of a VARCA short track race. They want to see clean, long runs like you saw at some parts of Bristol and Wilkesboro and Knoxville. Up the racetrack goes Shaun White. He's going to be able to clear for the lead almost. Shaun White able to clear for the race lead over Charlie Atherton off turn 4. Atherton's just got to settle in line here. This isn't... Oh, trouble further back. Joseph Sheldon is one of them. Shib and Abraham Joseph is another one of them. But see else, LJ Coons, Charles Barga. What has happened? Teammates, Barga, and then gets turned by Lance Thompson. He just gets turned by Charles and then spins back up. Fortunately, doesn't get hit, but Shia does when they restart this race. As Shaun White will have the inside, Charlie Atherton will have the outside. Here we come. Green flags back in the air. No cars out of the race, but we got a couple of... oh, Tyler Barnett's going to get turned. He's going to be turned into the outside wall. Caution's going to fly again. I was going to speak on how he had a couple cars a lap down and 2 laps down. But the more interesting part... Oh, and they're crashed under caution. Noah Grayson and Lance Thompson. But we have a couple cars a lap down, 2 laps down. Here we come off turn 2, and Borski actually turns Barnett, but Barnett's able to just take a light tap into the outside wall. Not much harm done, except that he's just lost basically all of his track position. And you see, we're getting an onboard off 2, and then yeah, he just comes down on Gavin Borski. Fortunately, his tap into the wall isn't very hard. Albright, going to be the leader for this restart over Shaun White. Here they come, back to the green. Green flag back in the air. Albright and Shaun White are leading them in the 1. Look at Borski, he's not taking... Oh, trouble! Tommy Fletcher in the wall. Shaun White's in the wall. OOI is going to get a piece of it. Caution. Hernandez is... Borski's just charging through and just takes these 3 out in the turn 3. You know, we were talking about how he wasn't going to take any cars prisoner, and he really didn't take anyone prisoner right there. On board with Shaun, and there's the hit, and you can actually feel his airborne as he gets hit by OOI. And the old champ rivals on the front row, they could be champ rivals once again heading into Ducoin. We don't know. But Lucas cracked the top 10. Oh, Hunter Garcia Guri. Here we go. Coming back to the green. Green flag, we are back racing. Atherton up the racetrack. Contact Atherton's in the wall, Borski's in the wall, Din is in the wall. Lance Thompson. Oh, and Atherton's gonna turn Lance Thompson. Oh, Din made contact, and then Gregson actually made the contact that hooked Borski into the wall with Din and Atherton. As Charlie Atherton, you cannot afford something like this to happen in the second last race of the year. Yeah, it's just really unfortunate. It's 28 when they restart. Alright, on the inside, there's going to be Castro on the outside. As you can see, Ben Abraham Joseph pulling into the garage. His day is likely done. Green flag back in the air. Castro gets the jump. Aguirre trying to get the lead. I thought they were about to wreck again. Gregson and Aguirre. And they are wrecking again. Oh, and it's Joseph Sheldon on his lathe, rolling down the front straight away. Great avoidance by everyone. They're coming off for Atherton, OOI, and Barnett get into it. And then Sheldon just gets hooked and goes rolling down the front. And then take a look at the wreck avoidance. Dude, some of these three, OOI, Barnett, Atherton, and then the spin happens. And all this just happens because Sheldon slowed down to avoid a crash. And then you can see the cars sort of just flying by. When these guys restart, as they're starting to get held back further up by lappers. So they're going to have to get that sorted out for the back, because they're going to do the restart without them. And what are we doing? They're slowing up right here. And the green flag's going to wave. As cars were getting in the incorrect line, the green flag waves. I think this is better for the restart since some cars were single file. I think this could lead to a green flag run. Arbaugh goes into the pit lane. I think officials penalized Brady Arbaugh for that violation on the restart, attempting to go into the wrong lane. Side by side for the lead, Tony Castro and Michael Albright. And Alejandro Garcia Guri in the third position, trying to make it happen. There's Brady Arbaugh. And they're beating for the race lead. Castro and Albright actually made some contact down the front, which let Castro have the advantage off into turn one here. As now Aguirre fighting hard on the inside. You know, maybe we won't see any more crashes until the checker if these guys spread out. But look at Aguirre going for second. Could he win back-to-back to make himself known as the VARCA champion? He can't lock it up today, but he can surely get a big buffer. But he cannot afford a mistake at Ducoin. Well, I don't remember how he ran at Knoxville, though. But I just remember that Atherton, two very mediocre races in a row. Speaking of Charlie, he's having trouble getting around the 26, 74, 69 with all of his damage. This is going to knock him down to at least 4th in the standings after this race. And all because of chaos right off the start. As you can see, Barnett into the pits. So it will probably just be down to 3rd in standings for Atherton, as Albright will most definitely pass him, and Aaron Din will not, so it will just be 3rd in the standings for Charlie Atherton. As they're battling hard for position, Tony Castro walking away with the race lead. And look at the Marion Robinson back there, putting pressure on Noah Gregson. McCormick and Mastery battling for position for the back. Mastery is actually a couple of laps down, I believe. He doesn't have any damage, actually, so I think he's on the lead lap. Here comes Barnett out of pit road, as now Aguirre trying to run down the race leader of Tony Castro. You can see the tires, when they wear out, they're definitely going to play a role in if we see more yellows. Obviously that restart's not one that we would have wanted to see, but it's probably prevented crashing for the rest of the race. I say that, and it's probably going to have a bunch of wrecks now. It's about 5 laps in a minute. So you've got to know what you're going to do as these laps go on, especially when they slow down because of the tire wear. Michael Albright further back hasn't won a race this year. That's been a narrative. Maybe he'll pull Daniel Hemrick if he gets in contention next race for the title. Aaron Din looking inside of Christian Mastery for position. Side by side, and it's Marion Robinson getting sent up by Dino Marinello, who won Talladega and finally got some funding on that car. But now the race leader of Tony Castro is going to start the lap cars here pretty soon. And they're going to be 3 wide right here for position. Varga, Borski, Thompson. But they're just so much faster than Charles on the straights that it shouldn't be really much of a problem. Now we'll see how the leader performs in the lap traffic. Because obviously they're not just going to pull over for him. Well, up the racetrack, as Barnett actually came out in front of Noah Gregson, who was in his final start of the 2023 campaign. Castro is able to lap LJ Coombs. Can Aguirre do the same as quickly? Side by side for the back. And I believe that's the Marion Robinson getting passed by Dino Marinello for position. Now the 35 may be more lenient to let the 30 go, since the 30 isn't the leader. And he will let the 30 go easier. Side by side, Arbaugh trying not to get lapped by the leader. I believe he's already lapped because of the penalty, but still doesn't want to go another lap down. Inside for the race, for the position, inside to put Borski a lap down. And he will. I believe they fixed everything on that 20 because he's staying out longer than a lap again. Now, will the leader, Tony Castro, be able to lap all of these Toyotas before Yuri gets to him? Oh, he's gonna turn Charles VARCA. Barnett turns VARCA. Caution doesn't fly. I guess they determined that it wasn't worth calling the caution for that. As Barnett comes back out of the pit lane after dumping Charles VARCA. And now Albright's looking inside of Yuri, won't be able to get the position. All while they're working by Barnett and Borski. Castro now trying to put Arbaugh a lap down, which is letting the 30 close. And there's going to be contact. It almost sends Thompson into the 21, which would have made him spin. But now here comes Alejandro Garcia Yuri. Thompson gets shoved up the road by Yuri, and now Albright's gonna look inside of him to put him a lap down. And now Yuri needs to get by Arbaugh right here. As Albright and Thompson still going at it for real estate. Gonna shove the 25 up and clear him. And Noah Gregson's able to clear Gavin Borski back there, and Marinello looks like he's going to do the same. As look at Alejandro Garcia Yuri, he's looking inside of Brady Arbaugh. He's going to be able to clear him soon. Arbaugh's got that damage. And they're going to be side by side for the leader, will they? Here comes a Yuri to the inside. He's trying to win back-to-back races. Castro on the outside trying to get his second win of 2023. Albright hasn't even won a race in 2023. Neither has Gregson. Gregson now lapping Lance Thompson. 18's going to clear the 25 off 4. Now Albright has to work his way past Arbaugh, and now that they're clear of traffic, Tony Castro is starting to drive off from Yuri again. And the next lap car is LJ Coons again. As Barnett's finally got some speed in that 20, it doesn't look like he'll go another lap down. As now, Marinello puts the 25 a lap down as well. Unfortunate for Lance Thompson since this is his last start of the year. But I mean, it can't be all negatives. He won at Bowman Gray, so at least you can say you had a win. Brady Arbaugh. The rumors are getting bigger and bigger and bigger that he will be going to the 15 full-time next year possibly, which would then put Lance Thompson and Tyler Stoner sharing the 25, or all three, Benet Joseph, Stoner, and Thompson all share the 55 with Benet Joseph. And you can see Castro starting to drive off from Yuri as he cleared the lap traffic, but we'll see how it goes when he gets back out to LJ Coons. Here they come off the corner, as it's gotten a bit spread out now, as we thought. A bit congested here. I've been sick over the past few days, so. But now Castro starting to run down the lap car of LJ Coombs, and then he will lap Kagami Owai and Christian Maskery. Owai, I thought, was up here in the top 10. Apparently not. I mean, he was involved in that crash with, what was his race? Atherton and Barnett? Yeah, Barnett. But every part of the track you look, there's a car on it right now with how the field's going and how this long run has been. Which is strange after the 4 cautions we had to start out this race. Considering it felt like we weren't even going to go a full lap without crashing. And I believe Charles Barga is out of this race. And he has had some choice words for the 20 team. He doesn't know yet that Barnett has probably lost this title. But I mean, I'm surprised that the VARCA officials didn't call the caution for Barga getting wrecked into that outside retaining wall. As now Michael Albright is just unable to get by Brady Arbaugh, and now Noah Gregson is starting to put pressure on the 2 car for the 3rd position. Gregson saw Hector Daniel, finish 2nd last race at Charlotte. He wants to do 1 spot better before the season closes to convince Gibbs that he's the one to put in the car next year. Because obviously Gibbs, RFK, Trackhouse have all announced that they will be running development programs here in VARCA next year. Trackhouse will be running the 67, 99, and the 97. JGR will be running the 81 and 18. And then you'll have RFK Racing running the 09 and 25 cars, I believe. Not 09 and 25. 09 and 60, sorry. 09 and 60 cars are RFK's numbers. So it'll be interesting to see how they all do. I mean, I think Trackhouse is going to perform the best out of all of them. You know, with how good they are with their developments and stuff. Look at what they've done with Scruton and Hector Daniel, for example. Those 2 are both race winners in the Cup Series. So and also, speaking of Trackhouse, it's also rumored right now that whenever they get to the driver's signing portion, you know, they gotta get their equipment and stuff. Whenever they get to the driver's signing portion, sounds like that Charlie Atherton could be the driver of one of their cars if he decides to not move up a division because of his connections in the Project 91 ride. Aguirre, meanwhile, as we've spoken on that, has closing the gap. He's all over Tony Castro now. He's trying to go back to back. And now you can see the 18 trying to put pressure on the 2. Gavin Borski going to go on another lap down. This is going to be a huge in the battle for the win if Castro gets out of behind. Castro all over Gavin Borski. How hard will it be to get by the 45? Has Castro lost his momentum? No, I don't think he has. Castro getting pressured now by Alejandro Garcia Aguirre. Castro went up the racetrack and the entry of the corner. He's gonna get a bit of a gap, or will he? Because Gary's not going to have a hard time at all clearing Gavin Borski. He's going to be able to off 1 and 2. So now both cars are nose to nose. I just think Castro, last time it was him versus Lance Thompson on an asphalt track going for a win. Will we see the same outcome with him and Gary? Do you know what that would do for the points battle? Do you? Well, it would give Michael Albright the points lead into the finale for starters, as he only needs 7 points to pass Gary and Everton, and he's already passed Everton. So, I mean, you're going to be second into the finale, about, 8 points back. He's in third right now. If Gary wins, he's going to be about 9 back in the finale. He would like to win this race so he can actually gain points on Gary instead of losing points. But, I mean, if Gary has an abysmal day at DuCoin, which is possible, I don't see Albright winning this title. I think the outcome of today's race is going to determine the champion, I believe. I just don't see anything magical happening in DuCoin on September 16th, which is an off week for the Cup Series. Because Vlado, Luis Garces, examinations for college down in Peru. And Vlado's Peruvian. You learn something new every day. If you hadn't heard already. I assume most of you hadn't. Some of you hadn't, at least. They're gonna lap OOI and Mastery here soon, as they come off turn number 2. Nearing the end of this race, you can see Noah Gragson. It's going to be his first top 5, I believe, which is very good to look for contracts and teams next year. I have a top 5 in the most competitive VARCA division, as I'm the owner of the division, so it may be a bit not egotistical, stereotypical to say, since it's mine. I'm not going to go out and say, oh, the Speedco Truck Series owned by Shea and Abraham Joseph has the best racing on the entire planet, because you want to make your stuff look like the best. But obviously, I enjoy watching the truck highlights. And the GNS series owned by Griffin Lynn, and any of the Cup owned by Vlado. Vlado's not going to be owning the Cup Series anymore in full next season. I know who one of the candidates for owner is. I'm not going to say. But I think he may have the potential to do a good job. I don't know. The guy's so young. But let's talk about the racing. Tony Castro is probably going to win this race, as you can see him having a hard time getting around OOI. But now, Michael Albright is closing in, and him and Arbot are leaving. No, Grayson. And it does. Sorry, I'm really tired. I'm really congested. But it's going to be a bit of a challenge, because with dirty air, old tires, I just think it's going to be a repeat of Aaron Din and Demarion Robinson at Gateway. You're on old tires, you're just cruising around. You can get close, but you can't do anything. Unlike Bowling Gray, where the asphalt is so fresh around there. And that's how you saw so much passing around there. Castro trying to set up a move on OOI, who's been involved in several accidents today. In the British battle with Mask for a spot in the 20s and points, as Aguirre just tries to make a move to the inside, won't be able to make it stick, and they're just all in one big group riding behind OOI. But here comes Tony Castro to the bottom. He is going to try to lap OOI now. How much tire is this going to burn up on the 21? The 83 might be damaged as well as the 93. as they race side by side off 4. Racing the leader is a lap car, while the point leader is in second. Excuse me. Aguirre needs to be taking advantage of this. The door is open. He's just not close enough to go. And this is going to put separation between himself and Tony Castro. See, now he has to plan to move on the OOI, which you saw how long that took Castro to make. I just don't think that Alejandro's going to go 2 in a row. I'm saying that he's not going to go 2 in a row. It's going to be Tony Castro as we're awaiting the white flag. Whenever that is, it's become quite a boring race after the chaos we saw at the start. But you know, it's nice. It's nice seeing calm racing instead of wreck after wreck after wreck after wreck after wreck. Every single short track. As they come out of turn 4 once again. And now, how long does the 21 ride behind the 83? Probably not for much longer, because never mind, Aguirre couldn't make the move happen. But now Brady Harbaugh is making a move on Aguirre, which basically Aguirre doesn't need to be happening right now. White flag is in the air. 1 more lap to go for Tony Castro. It's going to be win number 2 on the season for the rookie. Garcia Aguirre is going to have to settle for second. He's going to leave with the points lead. Tony Castro is going to win at Flat Rock. Here he is, Tony Castro, your winner from Flat Rock, as he's going to put on a smoke show for these fans still here on the front straightaway. There he goes. He hasn't done a burnout on asphalt yet, as he actually gets into the wall bit with the back end. Castro, win number 2 on the year. He's won on pavement and dirt. That's something no other driver can say, unless Aguirre or someone else who's already won wins the next time out at DuCoin. But you know, Castro just loves putting on this show, even if it can seem boring from the cameras. You know, it was a strategy victory, and that's what Castro is good at, strategy. So it's just a real talent behind the wheel of the 21, and he is really showcasing it here, and this season, and especially here at Flat Rock, as he just knows how to have fun out here. Not worried about a championship since he didn't race Daytona. Has had so many new experiences. He wins in Flat Rock.